Turn the lights back on. Wow. Retro electro tech. When real audio ruled the world.
Greetings once again, ladies and gents. This is Retro Ernest of Retro Electrotech, and I'm about to do an unboxing of a piece of equipment that was shipped in a few days or so back from Wichita Falls, Texas. Now, I always do these unboxing videos, but I rarely make the video public. I usually just list it as private, and I will send the link to the customer so that if there is any issues in regard to the condition that I received the box in, then I want the customer to be aware of that before I open up the box. So as we can see here, the box looks good, and that's always a good sign that the physical, exterior of the box is intact. There's no punctures or dents or, cuts or whatever the case. It doesn't look like it had the crap kicked out of it, in other words, and everything is sealed properly. So we're off to a good start. Now, that doesn't mean that the piece of equipment within didn't sustain some type of shock because of being, jolted around. But if the customer did a fine job padding everything, securing everything within, then we should be okay. So anyways, let's get this thing opened up and we will see what awaits us in terms of vintage audio wholesome goodness. Okay, so here we are, and there's a packing list. Okay, I'll check that out in a minute. And yeah, it looks like we're off to a good start. I don't know if you can see the way things are. Let me get this first piece of foam core out of there. Let me just tilt this a little bit. And you can see that looks like he did a mighty fine job of packaging it and everything. So good job, Mr. Customer. Get down with your bad self. All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything out of here and get it on the bench. The nice thing is I could ship it back in the same box with all of his packing material because he did an adequate job, so I don't feel like I have to repackage it any different or whatever the case. So excellent. So let's go ahead and move on. So here's our little amp specimen removed from its bubble wrap cocoon. And this is a Pioneer SA, as in Sierra Alpha 710. And this little amplifier is the one with the fluoroscan display. That's what Pioneer referred to it as. In other words, it's a VFD, or a vacuum fluorescent display. So anyways, from what I understand, this has a dead right channel. So I'm going to start function testing this, and when I come back in just a moment, I will have this on the current limiter, and we will see what there is to see. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's make sure that the fuse is okay and that it's the proper rating. So let me just get that out real quick. And we should have a 5 amp fuse in here, and we do. It looks like it's intact, but let me hit it with the continuity tester. Yep, and we are good. So I'm going to get that back on board, and we'll go ahead and do our safe power up here. Okay, so let me get it powered up. I'm going to start by pulling in the 60 watt bulb on the current limiter, and we'll see if our protect relay pulls in. So listen for a click, and what you should see on the current limiter is an initial bright glow of the bulb, and then it should immediately level off if there's nothing in the amp trying to fail, run away, whatever the case, and draw a heavy current. So let's go ahead and okay, there's our relay. Now let me pan down to the amp. Okay, so I've had this amp running now for probably about 10-15 minutes. Nothing has changed as far as the brightness of the bulb on the current limiter. So that in and of itself is a good thing. However, as the customer indicated, I do have a dead right channel. I have it on an 8 ohm load right now with a 1 kilohertz tone injected into it. And let me go ahead and zoom on over to the scope. Okay, so like I said, I have a line level 1 kilohertz tone injected into the amp. And what you see on the scope there, the sine wave, that's on our left channel. The flat line is our right channel. So our right channel is kaput. So, and also too, let me zoom on over to the VFD, which is our vacuum fluorescent display, and our right and left level indicators. Yeah, you can see just the left. Okay. So, let me go ahead and zoom back out. And here on the top side, I've only performed a quick visual inspection, but nothing has jumped out and slapped me on the forehead as far as anything obvious. There is nothing that I see that is malformed, such as bulging caps or anything leaking their contents, such as electrolytic capacitors that do leak their contents and bulge and all that. I don't see anything that's discolored. In other words, anything that looks like it's been overheating, nothing burned. All the wiring looks okay. Again, based on what I've been able to access with my eyes so far. And I have gone through with a magnifier and just breezed through things. And again, everything looks okay. But anyways, let me go around to the back. I haven't removed the cover yet, and let me see if anything stands out on the back side. Okay, so here we are around the back side, and just real quick, I'm going to check the junctions of these 4 power transistors or output transistors, and they are 2SA 1075s, these 2 green ones, and then the 2 black ones are their complementary 2SC 2525s. And let me start with the this 2SC 2525 NPN down here, or excuse me, yeah. Switch those probes around, and base to collector. Okay, yeah, you can see the meter. Okay, and base to emitter. Okay. And then, oops, let me switch these around. Okay, that's looking okay. That's looking okay. Let's go up here. Try to keep my hand out of the way. That's a dead short. Okay, base to collector. Base to emitter. Let's see. Dead short. Let me check this last NPN. Okay, you can see the meter. Make sure my hand's out of the way. Yeah, that reading's abnormal there. Slower than it should be. And then that reading is open. So these 2 transistors are kaput. So what I'm going to do when I get around to working on this, I'm going to investigate as to why that may have happened, if there's anything upstream or whatever the case that caused the problem, maybe something else shorted or failed, whatever the case, and took these out on this channel here. So that's where we are so far, and I'm going to cut it here and get this thing in line. And as I always say, peace, love, music, and the vintage audio that brings it to your ears. Till next time.
This is a poor man's shoe production.